do like one video dedicated to blush and show you and swatch them, and then bronzers, highlighters. I've done eyeshadow palettes recently-ish, and lip gloss sort of, so I don't know about that. I might do kind of like a lipstick video as well, kind of like swatch them, that kind of thing, but yeah, I just thought that that might be a little easier, and then we could have, you know, a little bit more time to talk about products. I have done this video when I first started my channel, but I think I've deleted those because they weren't very good, and I've gotten quite a few things since then. I've gotten rid of stuff since then, so I think that's everything. We can just go and jump on in. I'm going to start off with the one blush palette that I have, and you guys have probably seen this if you've kind of been on my channel for the last few months. This is the Ace Beauty Blushed in Paradise blush palette. I really like this blush palette. So it's dirty on the inside. They're all dirty. I'm gonna tell you now, they're all dirty. Anyways, this is the inside. Kind of like really light to pretty dark. I've never used, I think I've used this as an eyeshadow, but I mostly use this blush and sometimes this one, depending on what look I'm going for. This one's pretty light for me. It would work really good for someone who just wants to add a little color in, but aren't really looking for like a really flushed cheek. But I'm a huge flush cheeked kind of gal. Like if I'm putting blush on, like we want blush on, but I haven't used this on like a client or anything. But I think it would be a really good blush for like brides who don't really wear makeup but they're getting married. I really like this. It's pretty pigmented. I've used it quite a bit, so I'm not really gonna swatch them. Or should I? I should do it. I mean, it's blush, so I'm sure they're gonna all look the same, but that we can do it. I might just put them on my fingers. So that's the swatches. This one's really pretty, this darker one. Sorry, my pinky does not work. Like, as you can see, like, I cannot move it by itself. I had an incident as a child. But yeah, this dark one is really cute. But these two middle ones are kind of the ones I use. Let's see. Yeah, this light one's just too bubblegummy pink for me. The second one is my bread and butter. The third one also, and then obviously the dark one is for women with darker skin tones, and I'm sure it looks beautiful, but I appreciate the like range in these blushes. There's one for probably everyone, unless you're picky about the tones, you know what I mean? And they're pretty pigmented, a little buildable, but I feel like most people want a buildable blush, so that's this one. Okay, and then I also have this little blush trio from Anastasia. This one's in the shade Berry Adore. I used to have the something peach one, but I used it all up and I never repurchased. But this I actually got from my friend. She was moving and she gave it to me because she didn't use it. The colors in this are pretty dark, to be honest. Like, it's more for a darker skin tone. She told me that she accidentally picked up the wrong one, and I really like the formula of these, so I took it from her. I mostly use this one because it's a matte, and the other two, like this one is more like a satiny shimmer blush, and this one has gold tones to it, so I haven't overly used it, but I do really enjoy this color, so I'll swatch it for you. 1, 2, 3, let's see. There we go. So yeah, I really like this first one. It's called Desert. The second one is Exotic, and this brownie purple one is called Velvet. This is a pretty eyeshadow. I'll tell you that. See, okay, like that's me in a blush. which is stunning. I just obviously couldn't wear it on the cheeks. The formula of the Anastasia blush trios is really good. You get quite a lot of product. Like, I felt like the one that I used to have, I had it for probably a year and a half, and I was using it almost every day, and I really liked it. So I have this. I have quite a bit of makeup in my collection right now that's darker for me, that I've gotten from like kind of wherever at this point, that I picked up here and there over the last year and a half. That is like, it would be best for black people, for black women, and I don't know what to do with it. I have a couple of friends that I thought about giving it to, but they don't really wear makeup, and I guess I should ask them, because I kind of just assumed, but I need to figure out what to do. Anyway, up next we have a Benefit blush. This is the California blush, and it's described as a sunny golden pink blush. I put this on in a Get Ready With Me very recently, and I also have it on today. This is one of my favorite blushes ever, and the packaging, I wish I could be this girl, woman, person. Yeah, I really do. So just like a lot of Benefits products, it's in like this little box thingy. It did come with a brush, but I don't really use them. They're pokey and I have sensory issues, so. And I've also talked about the scent of this blush. It smells like sunscreen, but kind of in a good way. It smells like what I imagine California smells like. I've never been there, but yeah. It has like a golden sun on it when you buy it, but I've worn that part off. Anyways, let me swatch it. So that is what it looks like. It's a stunning pink color. Normally, I wouldn't be into this specific shade, but let me tell y'all, I'm into it. Look at that. Look at it. It's so pretty. It honestly makes you look like you just got back from the beach. Like, it's so pretty. I love it. And I've said before that, like, I think it was my Get With Me. I don't remember the things I've said or I've just said to myself. So, I've been using it, and I just feel like I'm never running out as well. So, it lasts a long time. It's really nice. And it smells, it's an interesting scent if we're being honest, but yeah. Okay, the next blush. This blush I've actually only worn once, I believe. It's just, I don't know why I haven't worn it more. This is a great question. But it's the Beauty Bakery Bite Size Smackaroony blush. Smackaroons. I like smackaroony, but I think it's supposed to say snackaroons. It's in the shade Freshly Baked. The packaging of these is really cute. It's like, you know how there's like the NARS packaging is that black matte. It's the same thing, but it's like this cute little baby pink. So that's the inside. It is sort of reminiscent to just like a big eyeshadow, like a single shadow, but I feel like this is probably realistic for blush. Sometimes blush has a lot of packaging, if we're being honest. Anyways, this is a matte blush. Most of my blushes are matte. Just so we're clear, the California one is like a semi-matte, like it's matte, but it has some shimmer. And then that's probably it. I think, actually, no, there's one more, but anyways, this is a matte, and it's so pretty. It's very pretty. Like, look at that. But it does blend pretty good. See if I kind of blend it out. It's really nice. This is more just a blush I'm gonna start wearing in the fall when I want to look like I just came in from outside. I'm so outdoorsy. So I've only worn it once and I didn't mind it. I just don't have too much of an opinion just yet. And this is also the only Beauty Bakery product I've ever had in my collection. It was actually a little gift, so there's that. This next blush is in disastrous state. It's covered in lash glue to start off, and it's broken. Okay, it has been through a lot, so I'm not really gonna tap on it. This is the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. The little plastic part came off, like it just would never stay, and I couldn't close it because it was broken. So now I don't have it on there, and I actually keep it in a bag, so it like doesn't dry out or anything. I don't know if that will happen, but I'm assuming there's like covers on makeup for a reason. So yeah, it's kind of been just destroyed, but I'll swatch it for you, to be honest, because it is so disheveled. I don't really use it much, so I should probably just get rid of it. But this is a cult classic blush, so I'm gonna swatch it actually up here. Like everyone on YouTube, this is like circa 2015 YouTube, like everyone had this blush. Oh, and I remember finding it in my Walmart and being like, I have come across the greatest treasure in the world. And yeah, it's a little underwhelming for me because it is pretty shimmery, but the color is stunning. It's very light. I prefer a darker shade of a blush, but it is really pretty. Again, it's pretty disappointing that the packaging has gone so wrong for me. It's just, yeah. Anyway, up next, I've also talked about this blush fairly recently. This is from the brand, the Sephora collection brand. I don't think this exact shade is available anymore, which is sad, but it's from it doesn't say on the package, but basically what I've learned from online is it's like a face powder. It's just called like colorful face powder, I believe. And this is a shimmery blush, but it's not like shimmery. I would say that it has shimmer in it, but it's still relatively matte, which I think most people would want in a blush because you're genuinely putting blush here and here and on your nose. You do not want that to be shiny and shimmery and catching the light. Like, I just don't think that's what most people want, unless you want it like directed in a certain spot, which therefore you could put a highlighter there, you know what I mean? Anyway, this is in the shade Fascinated number 29. It's supposed to be long lasting, and I love this blush. It's one of my favorites ever. So that's the shade. I'm really into peachy, orangey, vibrant blushes. Sometimes I need the pinks that I wear to be more orangey, more corally, more warm instead of cool. I don't love a cool blush. I'm not a cool toned makeup person. Anyway, that's the shade. I've had this blush for quite a few years, and it's also like I've never used it up. And that's the swatch on my finger, and I'll swatch it right there. So as I'm swatching it, it's very similar to California, like the tone of it, but I would say California is a little more vibrant. This is a little more toned down. If you're looking for a bit more of a higher end blush than like a drugstore affordable blush, try out the Sephora collection ones. This is a shimmer, but you can also pick it up in a matte. They're also like really small and convenient sized. Like, this is so thin. This is probably the thinnest blush. These two would be the best for traveling, but I take this with me a lot of places, and it just slips in to my little makeup carrier that I have, and it's just so good, and it matches almost everything. It's pretty long lasting, that kind of thing, so I really like that one as well. Up next, we have a blush from bareminerals. This is the Generation Nude blush. It's a powder blush. I can't find this one on Sephora, this color, but I can find these blushes, so that's unfortunate, but it's in the shade Bellini Brunch. This is a matte. I'll swatch it for you guys. So this is very, like, just adding a little color to the cheeks. I'm gonna swatch it down here. Very light, very orange, but it's pretty. So I like to wear this blush. I like to wear this blush on days where I'm wearing concealer, liquid highlighter, a little powder, a little bronzer, a little blush, just to like add color back into my face, but not be like blush. It also like really blends in with bronzer really well, so it's just like for girls who are kind of like not into blush. If you want an easier way in, I definitely suggest a color that's similar to this. Super pretty, super dope. And the formula's really nice. The powder does kind of look like it has, like, you know how you know when a powder product is gonna have a lot of kick up because it has like kind of starts to get little holes, if that makes sense. That's what this does. But I do like it. It's just not like I don't grab for it frequently, especially when I'm doing like a whole look on my face. It's more of a, I need to run to the grocery store, I'm gonna slap some makeup on, I'm going, you know, I'm gonna be outside all day, I'm just gonna slap some makeup on quick, not to an hour long look, if that makes sense. So yeah. The next blush we have is another one of my all-time favorites ever. It's a colourpop blush. It's been used and abused. So it's I always get tongue-tied when I say this. It's a super shock cheek, also a matte, and it's in this shade Thanks for the Memories, but it's spelled like the Fall Out Boy song, so my little emo girl heart is screaming. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. Tastes like you, only sweeter. Anyway, I love this blush. I would like to apologize for the way that it looks on the inside. I always find with these types of formulated products, the product just moves so easily that you kind of hit pan fast, but it just always kind of piles up on the edges. Anyways, I'm gonna swatch it. I do feel like you really have to work it. Maybe this one's drying out. My hands are kind of cold, so you can't even tell. You can't see it because my hands are getting cold because it's cold outside and the furnace isn't on. Okay, let's see if I can swatch it. I really have to work with my brush to get this on, but I love this shade. So it's right there. It's not perfect, but it is very, very similar to what it looks like in here. You just have to really work it. This one has been used and abused, and it's kind of on its last limb. I like the formula because the Super Shock shadow seems to last a little longer than other things. This is also just like the perfect blush to match almost every makeup look I'm going for. So if I don't really know what I'm gonna wear, putting on my eyes and my lips, I'll definitely grab this and throw it on. I also have a backup of it. So like that's kind of what it looks like in the box when you first get it. Yeah. What does it say here? Keep the magic in closed drawer tightly after use. Yeah, I just feel like this one's kind of dried out and like I used the heck out of it, so I do have the backup. And the last three blushes are NYX Matte Sweet Cheek Blushes. So I'm gonna go and start with the lightest shade I have in these. I talk about these a lot. These are really nice blushes. If you are on a budget and you want a matte blush, I highly recommend grabbing one of these. So yeah, this is the Sweet Cheeks Matte. It says down here it's a creamy powder blush. So I would definitely say it has more of a cream-ish when you blend it, but the texture when you touch it's a powder, but when it's very blendable, I would say. And I think for me it's like the right amount of pigmentation. It's enough that you like put it on and you're like, okay, blush, but you don't have to be like blush, 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 you know what I mean? That makes sense. Anyways, this one's in the shade Daydream. I believe this one's from their summer collection, but you can probably like still get it. The packaging on these isn't great. It's like cheapy NYX plastic packaging, but it's nothing like horrendous. Like, it's very manageable. It's just not. It's not as nice as this Anastasia one, you know what I mean? So Daydream is like a hot-ish pinky coral color. This is probably as crazy as I get when it comes to like this light of a color. But I'm gonna swatch it. It looks like that. Very similar to California and that move. Oh my goodness. I have a hair on my arm and you guys didn't tell me. So I'm gonna swatch it down here. See, yeah, like it's pretty reminiscent of California. It's like a similar shade, but this one's completely matte. Completely matte. I love these. The formula is just, it feels so good in my opinion. So we've got Daydream. I need to take these off. Okay, the other shade I have in it, this one is called Citrine Rose. So this one's definitely darker for sure. It's more of like a ready blush, but definitely still wearable on light to medium skin tones. And on dark skin tones, I feel like it's a pretty universal shade. Unless you are very, very ivory, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'd say I haven't gotten the most use out of this one yet. But again, this is more of a blush I would reach for in the colder months. And I only picked this up in the spring, summer when I grabbed Daydream. So let's swatch her. Yeah, see, much darker, but also lovely matte, super lovely formula. So that's Daydream, and I'm gonna swatch this one up here. They're similar, but obviously one's lighter and one's darker, but similar like a color story family, if that makes sense. So there's that one, and last but not least, we have this dark shade that I've hit pan on, surprisingly enough. This is in the shade Summer Breeze. This is the first one of these that I picked up last summer, so she's also been loved and abused. I really, really like this one, and that's why I kind of picked up the other two. The packaging is definitely getting like pretty worn out. Like when I opened it, it was just like blah, you know, but that's not a huge deal. This one's definitely much darker than Citrine Rose. It has more, I want to say it's like more orangey and browny, and this has got like a little bit more of like that red to it, if that makes sense. Yeah, I really love this shade, and it's what prompted me to buy more shades in this blush, so there we go, right there on that finger. I'm just gonna see. It's got more of that orangey peach tone to it. It's stunning. I should leave this out, put it